Crypto products and NFTs are unregulated and can be highly risky. There may be no regulatory recourse for any loss from such transactions.
This is Independence Day special Coffee in Crypto. I'm Arun Singh. A very warm welcome to this show. And in today's episode, we'll be talking about financial independence. We'll be discussing a concept which is called FIRE. But before that, big stories of the week. UN has said that the use of cryptocurrency rose globally during the COVID-19 pandemic, and India became the 7th highest country in digital currency ownership. As of 2021, 7.3% of Indian population owned assets in form of digital currency. The UN Trade and Development Body, UNCTAD, that's United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, stated the figures for other countries as well, with Ukraine topping the list with 12.7%, followed by Russia at 11.9%. Moving on to the next story, Reuters, quoting semi-official Tasneem agency, reported that Iran has made its first official import order using cryptocurrency this week. The move could enable the Islamic Republic to circumvent US sanctions that have crippled their economy. The order was worth $10 million. Moving on, Oxford City Football Club looks to become the first National League football club to accept matchday payments in Bitcoin. Fans will be able to purchase tickets, food and drink at Oxford City's Raw Charging Stadium with Bitcoin over the Lightning Network. ApeCoin is a cryptocurrency created by Yuga Labs and adopted as the native token of the very popular Bored Ape Yacht Club, which would now be accepted by Gucci. Italian high-end luxury apparel house announced that some of its US stores would accept ApeCoin as payment. Transactions will be done using BitPay, that's Bitcoin and cryptocurrency payment service provider. That's all we had for big stories of the week, and now we'll discuss the concept of FIRE, and for that we'll go to our coffee bowl. The concept of FIRE and the world of cryptocurrency, that's essentially what we're discussing. But let's begin with understanding what is FIRE. Well, it stands for Financial Independence and Retiring Early, a very popular concept in the finance world. It aims at extreme savings and investment so that you can retire earlier. But now we'll understand the concept of FIRE in the world of crypto. What does it do and what it should do? First, it should generate passive income from crypto. Second, if you're using FIRE, you should be able to use crypto as a financial instrument to save, to increase your savings and to probably rely on it a bit. And lastly, investing in digital coins over the long term. This is very crucial. Anyway, a lot of experts have been pointing out that you should invest for a longer periods to actually get the entire benefit of it. So that's what is actually FIRE can do in the long term. In the end, what to consider while adding crypto to your retirement plan? See, if you don't have sufficient retirement savings built up already, be very cautious. And considering regulation being in the gray area, especially in our country, you have to diversify your portfolio. You can't dedicate all of it to crypto. And also be aware of issues such as hacking, malware, and phishing attacks. And do not forget to factor in your age, disposable income, and risk appetite. But there are a few crypto tools that you can actually use to play with the FIRE. One is mining, then there's staking, and there's definitely buying and hodling as well. So that's essentially FIRE and the world of cryptocurrency. And now we have our guests also on the show, and we'll be discussing this concept. We have with us Malik Kotadia, co-founder and chairman Innovation Labs, and we have with us Rohas Nagpal. He's the chief blockchain architect, hybrid finance blockchain, that's HiFi. A very warm welcome to both of you. Rohas, I want to begin with you. Would you recommend FIRE to a crypto investor?
Definitely I would, and I think you can use crypto to achieve FIRE, but you have to keep certain things in your mind.
Okay.
I believe it is more important to look at the utility coins and tokenized assets and not at cryptocurrencies. So it is better to go for the utility or tokenized. Secondly, do not buy and forget. You have to keep monitoring. So whereas in the world of stocks, you usually wait for quarterly results, in crypto, you have to keep a very active view of what is happening to your portfolio, and I would recommend on a daily basis. I totally do not believe in the concept of hodling, where you just buy and then hold it for a very long time.
Okay.
Very, very bad move to make. And don't believe in buying the dip. Like every time the price goes down, buy more, not at all. So you need to be very rational and logical about how you go about it. But I think crypto can help you to achieve FIRE.
Okay. And Mr. Kotaria, how much percentage of crypto you think one should have in the overall portfolio if someone is aiming to have good retirement plan?
So firstly, I agree with Rohas that, crypto by itself cannot and should not be a part of your, or the only part of your FIRE or retirement, early retirement plan. As far as what percentage should be, it really is a function of, one, your risk appetite, two, your age and your earning potential.
Sure.
And three, how scientific and how disciplined are you in your investment approach, as Rohas said. So it's not something where, you go with what everybody is saying or you go with the hype. It has to be part of your strategic investment and retirement plan. So for someone, this should be, or this could be no more than 1 to 2%. For some, this could be 5%. For some, this could be 10%. There really is no one-size-fits-all answer on this one.
Sure. And Rohas, can you hedge against crypto volatility?
Yeah, actually you can. So I in fact strongly believe that instead of picking the very successful projects out there, go with pre-listed cryptos.
Okay.
So they are not yet listed. You can usually get them at a very low price. And if you follow the method of, you look at the revenue model, the organization behind it, the history, the tech stack and the social community. When you analyze all this and then go for pre-listed, I think that's a much easier bet, because there we don't see much of a downfall. We basically are going to see a lot of upswing. So I would say that is one very good way of starting out.
And is there any specific way, Mr. Kotaria, that you would recommend? Of course, we're talking about some tools which can help one achieve the FIRE goals. Would you recommend a few ways or tools?
Sure. As I said, I believe in a, strategic and scientific approach. So there is a 5V model that I usually suggest to people and I follow. The first is, what is the value proposition of that particular platform, whether it is, an existing leading platform like Bitcoin or Ether or one of these upcoming platforms. You have to be very clear and understand the value proposition. Secondly, also understand the valuation. It's not enough that it has a strong value proposition. The price has to be right. Third V is velocity of growth and what is the network effect. Is it growing fast? Is there a very strong exit barrier network effect? The fourth, as Rohas also mentioned, is viability of the platform, the tech stack, the robustness of the platform. We see even leading platforms having downtimes, or we see a lot of these concerns around the Ethereum merge. So you have to really understand what is the viability of the tech stack. And the fifth way I would say is the value, volume and variety of usage. How many DApps are there? What kind of DApps are there? Are they all only gaming ones? Are they a mix of DeFi, gaming and NFTs, etc.? What is the future scope, etc.? So as long as you have your own method built around these 5 Vs and you diligently and strictly follow it, I think you should be okay.
Rohas, lastly, is it a good idea to have FIRE expectations from crypto?
Yeah, I think it's fair enough. You can have that expectation, but it has to be reasonable. I mean, you cannot say that I will buy 100 rupees of Bitcoin and I will retire. That's not going to happen. That only looks good in some ads. So as long as you are patient, you are reasonable, you are not doing day trading, you're watching all the sectoral indexes, the fear and greed index. And if you have a good understanding of the different crypto metrics, there are more than 50 of them, and you understand DeFi in detail, I think you can expect to.
But Rohas, you say stay away from day trading and also stay away from hodling. So what is one thing?
You have to monitor on a daily basis. Okay. But that doesn't mean that I will sell 5 times a day just because there is a 1% rise or a 5% rise. I will buy it and then I will monitor if some major negative news comes. Like suppose there is a major attack or a hack attack on my particular portfolio on those tokens in that, I should immediately be ready to sell. But it's not I'm a day trader, but I'm just monitoring on a daily basis.
Last 30 seconds, Rohas, since it's an Independence Day special episode, how would you explain or define financial independence? What does it mean for you?
Sure. So for me, financial independence is I work because I want to work, not because I have to work for the money. So if I can continue with my current standard of living without necessarily having to work for me, that would be financial independence.
Mr. Kotaria, 10 seconds. Please explain, like, what does it mean to you?
I think I completely agree with Rohas. I couldn't have said it better. As long as you don't have to work to earn, but because you love what you are doing, then that is definitely a question of financial independence. And of course, there's also the other part of early retirement, but that we can, that is very subjective.
Sure. Thank you so very much, gentlemen, for talking to us. And now we're moving on to another exciting conversation. And I'm again saying it's an Independence Day special episode. So, of course, we've got something which we should be very, very proud of. And that is an NFT project called Vyomnaut, which is officially licensed by ISRO. I spoke to Rajiv Mahalinga, who actually owns MKTM Studios, which is behind this project called Vyomnaut. Catch that conversation. You know, I've seen a lot of people wearing NASA t-shirts and it actually looks very cool. But someone is also bringing ISRO in the market where they've dropped a lot of things in the merchandise and now in the NFT space as well. We have with us Rajiv from 1947 India. A very warm welcome. First of all, congratulations on bringing ISRO to this cool market of merchandise where, you know, I now can see people wearing those t-shirts as well as we see people wearing NASA t-shirts. But just give us a brief introduction of what you do and then, of course, we'll discuss the NFT part.
Yeah, I run a studio called MKTM Studios, and the studio focuses on destination platforms and designs for Indian cities. And while we were doing that, we started a clothing brand called 1947 India. And this clothing brand actually focuses on Indian metro cities and India. And we make Indian city-based merchandises. While we were doing it, we thought about the same idea that why we should always wear NASA, we should also proudly wear ISRO. So we went to ISRO, convinced them, discussed, so then they agreed, and this is where we are.
Another dropping ISRO NFTs also, which means, I mean, it's their NFT, they are dropping it, but these are licensed by ISRO. What was the conversation with ISRO people like for this project?
I think initially they were very hesitant, and because it involved a lot of properties and details and diagrams and everything given by ISRO. And also once we make any of these NFTs, they are for life. Once we mint it, it is on the network. And they wanted to make sure there is no misinformation, the content is right, and whatever we are doing is not involved with any kind of money, without doing any KYC. All of these details were behind it. So it took us a long time to explain our project, and also a lot of other things that we did, that they got impressed. They realized that there is a potential to do a really good marketing with this young generation and who are into blockchain and decentralized.
Which
NFTs.
chain is this on?
This is currently, we are thinking on Polygon or else on the Optimism.
Okay. And
Layer 2.
Did you want to become an astronaut while you were a kid?
I was always been a geek, astro geek. Not an astronaut, but I was always fiddling with like rockets and rocket engines and like the...
Okay, so what does this NFT project do? Just explain, how can we access it?
Yeah, so this NFT project name is called Vyomnaut, and the website is vyomnaut.io.
Which is the Hindi word for astronaut.
Yes.
Vyom and not you is what you...
Yeah, Indian name for astronaut. And Vyomnaut project actually consists of 3 layers. One is the phygital layer where we are making ISRO official wristwatches and also merchandises. But if you have to play a game before you get this. That game is called Space Geek Card Game. And these cards are like, basically what we have done is we have divided all the rockets into parts, and all of them are individual NFTs. You can receive bunch of NFTs by just involving with the community. Once you receive them, you trade them, collect the right kind of parts and make the rocket out of it. And also there are fictional payloads, there are something like PFP, which is actually profile picture NFT, and that NFT you have to load onto the rocket and launch yourself to Ethereum mainnet, which is actually another layer of the network. And in that network, if you come, and all of them are like given out for free, but you just have to engage with the community to exchange and then involve and do all of this. So once you involve in the community and communication and engagement, then once you make yourself available on the Ethereum main network, then you are called as Vyomnaut. So that's the status you want to come to. And Vyomonaut has many levels of roles as an astronaut, like science related astronaut, and it could be someone like onto defense, and someone is related to piloting.
So you get to do this free?
Yeah, you can start with nothing you need. You just need to have the network in a wallet. You come on onto our website, mint them, and then engage with the community.
But then you know it, right? That a lot of people see NFT as a great source of income as well.
Yes.
Do you plan to integrate that part as well?
No, because it is a government project, and it is also belongs to the entire community, not for us. So we wanted to make sure that our goal is to engage them. Anyway, we are selling the merchandise on the side and all these things.
Sure.
But for the NFT, we really are very happy to bring people together. Our main goal is to bring Web3 people and also space enthusiasts together.
You're bridging that gap.
Yeah, bridging the gap.
Bringing geeks from both these sectors together.
See, the main thing is that what we believe that human society eventually has to have focus on space manufacturing in space, as well as a decentralized approach. So anyway, they both are the future of us. So that's why we're working on that.
But let's say once someone has become a Vyomonaut, can they trade in it? They've got it for free, but can they trade that?
Yes, yes. Once you do all the stages and you increase the rarity of your NFT, if you get lucky, you might even get a very good commander level NFT, which is actually a PFP1. All these things can hold a value, and it will have its rare, this thing. We have only limited to 5,555 Vyomonauts. First, we will allow 10,000 people to come to play the game, but only 5,555 people will be able to be the Vyomonauts.
Sure.
And we are trying to take it forward to a kind of metaverse, kind of exclusive space online, where people can use all of that and then engage and create their own room on the metaverse, showcase their digital properties, NFTs in their room, create community discussions or else meeting rooms for themselves. So we create that for them if you engage there. And then once you have all of that, you can trade it for a higher value for sure.
Okay, in the end, you've also introduced a museum.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we have built an Unreal Engine museum, which we are converting into a Unity-based museum because we want to fit it onto Metaverse. The Unreal Engine museum, basically you can put up an Oculus glass, it's an APK, and then you can install it there, and then go and see what Indian history and Indian Space Research Organization has achieved. And all the 3D models, we have currently implanted around 80 Blender models like rockets, launch vehicles, satellites, so-called spacesuit that we have bought from Russia. All of that we have put there. We are increasing more interactivity. We are increasing more models. We are targeting to put around 200 different things. Okay. And also video links and everything. Yeah.
And the rockets that you are, of course, you have there on your NFT project, you also told me that most of these drawings are also done by very popular names that we've had.
Yes. So some of the rockets are like, even the rocket drawings are even done by APJ Abdul Kalam.
Wow.
When we received those properties, we were jumping with joy, like, oh my God, we are getting to touch these things and make something out of this. It was a privilege for us. It's really lucky.
Commendable job. Thank you so very much. It's absolutely exciting to hear a project like this. But thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Hi, you're watching Coffee and Crypto, and last week I attended a blockchain hackathon and I caught up with Vimal Sagar Tiwari, who's co-founder and CEO at CoinSwitch, and we discussed the possibilities of blockchain in building future cities. Have a look at that conversation. And now comes a quick crypto catch-up with Vimal Sagar Tiwari, co-founder and CEO of CoinSwitch Kuber. A very warm welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good.
So, in past few months and weeks, we've seen some really massive jolts in the crypto industry. And I believe it's the tough times which actually bring innovative results. What has been your headspace like when it comes to the crypto space in general is what I want to begin with.
So crypto is basically we are working on blockchain, and blockchain is here to solve problem for the people. Even through this hackathon, we are trying to figure out solution for the problem of India. Like we are working on the on the theme of building future cities and what are the problem India is facing right now and how blockchain can solve these problems on these things we are working on currently. So basically, though we are an exchange service we run, but parallelly also in Web3 and blockchain domain, we want to actually promote innovators and entrepreneurs who are actually working on solving the real world problems through blockchain. So this is what all going around.
Just to give you a quick introduction of the hackathon that he was talking about, it's called Building Future Cities that CoinSwitch is doing in association with Startup Karnataka. That's Karnataka government's initiative to fuel all these startups that we see cropping up here in this city as well. So definitely some exciting projects that contestants are really working on. Just give me a few examples that can really transform city problems via blockchain.
So, a couple of things. So, first of all, blockchain is a technology which provides you a way to automate done tasks through automation and transparently, right? Suppose there is a land, and if we do the land registry on blockchain, and if we keep all the records of that land on the on blockchain, the sale deed, any lease records, any information about the renting of the particular portion of the land, blockchain acts as a single source of truth, right? So any problem which comes with the ownership of land or any foul place, we can avoid these kind of things, because you know that where to go and where to check any kind of detail about that land. So this is one example. I would say there are many other use cases which blockchain can solve, and which comes to our day-to-day life, right? Let's say suppose distribution of the farm produce, which takes a lot of hassle via supply chain problems, which blockchain can solve.
Right.
Distribution of vaccine, which everybody's the problem of distribution of vaccine, which everybody is facing in the country.
I was just going to come to that. I mean, we are in middle of a pandemic. I would say we are in the middle of the pandemic because it just never goes. And it's definitely not gone. So in recent times, did you see blockchain integrating with something which was helping us to deal with the pandemic?
Absolutely. I think there was a news that Maharashtra government had started showing COVID reports on blockchain, so that so that any issues related to the COVID reports or any misuse of the reports could have been avoided. So there are definitely some use cases coming up, but there is a long way to go.
Any projects that caught your attention here at the hackathon?
I still need to see.
Okay, but why Bengaluru?
So Bengaluru is basically the IT hub, the tech hub, and the startup capital of India. So if you see, Bengaluru itself has almost over 15,000 registered startups work here. So anything you want to do, you get a great talent pool in Bengaluru. If I talk about blockchain itself, so India is expected to have the second largest developer community on blockchain, and definitely Bengaluru will have a huge share in this. So we want to promote the entrepreneurship through Startup Karnataka and the government of Karnataka, so that we can inspire people to take up more blockchain projects from here, and we easily get the talent pool in Bengaluru.
And there's a great prize money as well?
Yes, definitely.
But what opportunity does it provide to someone who will win this? I mean, of course, other than the money.
So I just want to reiterate one thing, that CoinSwitch is started as a hack, and from hack to a unicorn, this is our story. So this is the opportunity lies through that. But apart from this, basically hackathon provide opportunity for everyone to collaborate with the experts of their industry and the peer who are actually working on the same problem and solving through the same technology. So you collaborate with them, you network with them, and you learn from their experiences. And this can be a stepping stone to someone's entrepreneurial journey. So there is a lot of opportunity a hackathon can offer for anyone's life.
Okay, just to wrap this conversation up, since we don't get to chat very often, and you mentioned the story of CoinSwitch Kuber, just very briefly, if you can tell our viewers, why is it so important and close to your heart, the story of CoinSwitch Kuber?
Definitely. So me, Ashish and Govind, we were regulars to hackathons. We have won many hackathons together as well. So in 2017, we started CoinSwitch as a hack to simplify the trading experience for ourselves first. And when that hack worked for us, we thought that there would be many people across the world will be facing the same problem. And that is how CoinSwitch started. So when the problem worked for us, we figured out a solution, and we made it for everybody else to work on it.
You guys were classmates, friends?
Yes, we are friends for over 15 years now.
You've studied together?
Yes.
And Bengaluru happens to be your...
No, it was Delhi. So Ashish and Govind used to work in the same, used to study in the same college, and I used to meet them regularly because I know Ashish via one of our common friends.
Okay.
So, but we used to hang out regularly. We used to hack regularly. Used to participate in multiple hackathons, and this is how this all journey started.
What I was gonna say was that Bengaluru happens to be your home now.
Yes. Now Bangalore is our home. We are here for
like a true techie.
Absolutely.
Great chatting up with you. Thank you so very much for this conversation.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Arun.
From Bengaluru, Arun Singh for NDTV.
Crypto products and NFTs are unregulated and can be highly risky. There may be no regulatory recourse for any loss from such transactions.